Next is from Suganda Chanko. The subject is who's a bigger draw? Good day, K100 crew. Just seen the AW number is very underwhelming. Show sucked and rightfully got that low number. They're now closer to NXT than they are to Raw or SmackDown, so that begs a question. Who's a bigger draw? Bron Breakker or MJF? But in all seriousness, I think this has been a long time coming. In late 2021, they were doing 1.1 to 1.3 for about 2 months. So it's not that they did 1.4 and never got close again. They did get close, but drove away their audience. I know the answer is better stories and character development, but how quickly do you think AW can turn things around? You can't build stories and emotion overnight. It takes time. Do you think they're even capable of turning it around? Joe, do me a favor while we're talking about this.
Yes.
Go look at like the 6 weeks of TV leading up to the Punk media scrum and the fight with the Elite, and the 6 weeks of TV after that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, just look at those numbers. Try and find that date, and I want to see what that is. Because I still say that, bro, it's just here's when AEW is a good show. AEW is a good show when you got Cage and Luchasaurus on. AEW is a good show when you were pushing Wardlow. AEW is a good show when you had Punk on. AEW is a good show when MJF was making his rise. The thing is, but all this other stuff that they're doing is just atrociously underwhelming and drags out forever. Like the angle, like they're doing this thing with like the Jericho Appreciation Society, and the problem with there's a problem with having factions, right? Is when you have factions, you look at all the matches you could have, and then you try to have them all, and the next thing you know, this angle's been going on for like 4 months. And it's not really going anywhere because all the guys are doing is just fight each other and there's no stakes. So like that. Go ahead.
The Punk thing after the pay-per-view was September 4th. Okay.
Okay.
So here's the 6 weeks prior.
Okay.
900.
Start from the 6 weeks and go forward to that point.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Okay. 976,000, 938,000, 972,000, 957,000. 1.049 million, 1.020 million. Those are all prior to his scrum. Okay. So the numbers were going back up, sort of.
Right. Yeah, they're doing good. They got over 1 million a couple weeks in a row, and then boom, and then this happens. Go ahead.
After the scrum, 1.035 million, 1.175 million, 1.039 million, 990,000, 1.038 million, 983,000, 752,000. October
I think
18th.
that was but that was maybe a Tuesday. That was a outlier.
It says schedule differences. Yeah, okay. So anyway, yeah. So but then they dropped below 1 million for the rest of the year.
Okay. So there was buzz coming out of that Punk thing, and the one clear there was interest still. And it's like now that the Punk has not come back and they kind of like it, the fans realize it, it's kind of just dropped off. What do you think about that, Conan? You're muted, by the way.
Well, I think the numbers speak for themselves, right?
Mm-hmm. Pretty much. Like there was interest in Punk. There was interest in if that was an angle with the Elite and stuff and thing. And then when they realized it's just they haven't recovered since from that. Correct, Joe? I mean, they haven't.
No.
Yeah, and it's weird that the other day I saw on Twitter Jericho putting over Punk, which makes me believe he's probably coming back now.
Or they probably talked to him and said, "Hey, look, bro, they've realized they need the guy."
Right.
Regardless of whether you like it, the guy has fans. Period. You cannot deny that. Again, there's obviously interest in Punk, and that's bro. I tell you what, if it's time for him to come back when he's healthy, this is a show I would book. I would have Punk come out to the show and call out Kenny Omega to fight him right now in the middle of the ring. Let's just get this over with. And they do an angle and they book a street fight for the main event on that show between Kenny Omega and CM Punk. Tell me that wouldn't immediately just like that, and that would instantly just people would buzz.
That's what he should have done when he first came in.
Right. Yeah, yeah, exactly, right?
But as you guys know, well, Jericho, he sees things coming. He smells money, and if he probably realizes that publicly I said I'll never let Punk back, and if Punk comes back, we have a ready-made feud. We have a ready-made feud.
First of all, Jericho didn't publicly say anything.
Oh, it was reported. I'm sorry. Right. Yeah, you're right.
So that may not even that story may not even be true. So Conan, do you know if that story's true? You muted.
No, I've never heard him say that to me, but I have read that. That's what he said.
But you're right. But it's not. It didn't come from the horse.
Or not. Right.
Exactly right. Next is from let me see. Goulet Ahmed, and the subject is Conan's commentary in TNA. Yo, gentlemen, I remember when Abyss got brutalized by Team Cage in an episode of TNA Impact, and Conan was hilarious just selling the segment and seeing Abyss's bloody face all over my screen. Conan, did TNA ever consider you to be a regular commentator back in 2006, 2007? And would you ever do that looking back? Thanks from Hangsight. Filled in context in this time, Disco. Haha. Do you remember that, Conan?
No.
Joe, for next step, maybe try and find that. If we can
Conan's
find a
commentary.
Yeah, Conan blistering my commentary.
Sure.
Next is some Create and Eliminate LLC. The subject is Impact in Vegas. What's up, K100 crew? I love the show and appreciate all the YouTube content. I have a few questions for you. First, hey Disco, are you going to be at Sam's Town for Impact show? Hey Conan, as a fellow shipmate, what was your rate in the Navy? Joe, Eagles suck. That's from Greg Vandalo. No, I'm going to be in town, but I don't believe I'll be performing on Impact or I'll be going to the show. Conan, as a fellow shipmate, what was your rate in the Navy?
YN, yeah.
YN. And Joe, the Eagles suck.
Conan, did you get that book? The Pale
Yep.
Horse book? Okay.
Next is from JG, and the subject is Jungle Boy. Hey, K100 crew, I hope all is well. I'd like to bring up Jungle Boy Jack Perry. I found this guy to be the drizzling. In ring, he's fine to me, but he has a personality of wet cardboard. I do not consider him a pillar of any sorts by any means. Maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm right, but I'm very curious on your guys' take on this, and if there's a way they can book him to succeed with the fans. I was thinking they ditch the stupid Tarzan crap and have him go full HBK heel mode. Sweet chin music, the dinosaur, LOL. That's keep keeping 100 JG from Jersey. Yeah, I mean, watching Jungle Boy like beat these big guys and just he doesn't really show a lot of fire in there. It's just like I don't know. This guy needs a lot of work. I mean, he's way too high on the card for what he actually like in physical stature and interviews and stuff like that. I don't know. It's like,
well, if Christian's coming back, they should have some good stuff between those two,
Right.
especially on Christian's side, hopefully. But I always agree with JR's perspective where he would go out of his way to call Jungle Boy Jack Perry because I think it's kind of difficult to take a guy serious if his name's Jungle Boy. Maybe that's just me.
No, you're absolutely right, Joe. Conan, do you think Joe is absolutely right for once?
No. I don't have, bro. There's other names that are more ridiculous than Jungle Boy. You just get used to saying it. Like
Yeah.
there was a rock group called the Beatles.
Luchasaurus is a goofy name. You know,
Luchasaurus is a goofy
yeah.
name.
It is
Yeah.
right.
Subject Ran 019, and the subject is a question. Hello, Conan, Disco and Joe. Amazing show, best podcast hands down. My question is: from all your years in the business, do you recall any wrestlers who had contempt for fans of wrestling in general? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Me and you got the same answer to this, Conan. Who had contempt for wrestling?
I don't remember wrestling, but
Fans contempt for fans or
for
wrestling in
fans,
general.
a lot of
wrestling.
guys, especially in autograph sessions, when they wanted to get the fuck up or they were like rude
Bro,
to
who's
fans.
number one? Who was the number one guy?
Luger.
Come on, this is such a yes.
Right.
Lex Luger.
Right.
Bro, remember when we went, Conan, were you in we were in, Luger really said this. When we were in England, well, on the Mike Sanders trip, remember we were all like,
Yeah.
okay, remember when we checked in the hotel one time? And Luger told the check-in, the person at the check-in counter, hey, can you give me a room away from the wrestlers?
Right. That did happen.
Oh, he's classic, right?
Yeah.
So that answers your question, and that story answers the question too, because he actually literally had contempt for the wrestlers.
You know, you hear different stories from celebrities or athletes or whatever about annoying autograph seekers. They'll talk to you when you're taking at a funeral or something. What's the most annoying or, you know, over the line encounter you guys have had where someone wanted a picture or an autograph?
Honestly, I've always signed, so I've never really had anybody with egregious requests. You know, like just a couple people, like maybe had 10 pictures at the airport. I signed them all. You know, whatever. I never really minded that because, you know, I don't know. It wasn't like I had to do a 2-hour signing where you're literally writing your name for 2 hours straight, which was a pain in the ass. But I didn't mind. What about you, Conan?
Probably when I'm on the. Well, I think I told you the story one time. I had crashed. I had just bought this a Ferrari, and I had crashed in Tijuana, and I was bleeding, and people were wiping up my blood and asking me to sign it.
Oh wow.
Are you
And
serious?
yes, and
Oh my
also
God,
when I'm in
jeez.
the urinal, I've had people. I'm like, dude, I mean, let me wash my hands. I've never been a guy that. Oh, I'm eating, come back later, because then don't eat out in public. If you're gonna be famous, don't go out in public, because people are
Right.
gonna ask for a picture, they're gonna ask for an autograph. You're just kind of being a then. But and
You know,
the one thing I didn't like, I'll tell you what I didn't like. Here, can you sign my boob? Can you sign my arm? Well, you're gonna wash it off. Why would you want me to sign a body part?
right, because they want
Yeah,
you to touch their boob. That's why.
right.
Um, I will say this. Do you remember that interview we played where Mr. Wrestling #2 and the Assassin are having their thing, and the Assassin goes, "What?" They asked the Assassin why he wears his mask. Okay, and he gave an answer kind of like what Conan would say. Like Conan, he gave an answer of why, like maybe you should wear a mask.
Right.
He says because I do not want the notoriety that comes with being a celebrity when I'm out in a restaurant or I'm at a show and people come up and bother me and so he goes, that's why I wear my mask. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Which is actually very legit. That's a
Right.
great answer, you know,
It is.
because
Right.
it's true, right?
Right.
Next is from Chris Conan. What if from now on we start wearing masks in public? Maybe that's why Mio Moskos wore his mask.
Yeah,
Well, but people come up and like, you know, they
Yeah.
were, you know. So well, actually, no. Well, he's saying he wears his masks on the show, okay, which is because he doesn't want people to recognize him when he's out in public, which is actually
Right.
a very great answer. So next is from just think about that. I was just thinking about this. That makes it kind of weird that Mil Moscas used to wear his mask all the time.
Not all
Like
the
really,
time. He would not all the time. He would only wear it like if he knew that, like if he met you, he was
right,
not gonna take it off in front of you.
right.
Right.
But I'm just saying, it's like, but he would wear it a lot in public, right?
Only
Because
when
that's
he
kind of
went to
weird because
public
his hands are
only when he went to public functions that they knew he was Mil Moscas. But like if he went out to eat normally,
Oh, he'd take
he
it.
wasn't
Okay,
wearing it. But
right.
like me, since I was driving him to the hotel and to the airport, he didn't want me to see his face,
Right.
And which is kind of funny because one time we were in Michigan
Mm-hmm.
and Hijo del Santo had a mask on, and the promoter, who was this white boy, had a mask on. I remember the promotion was called Rebel Lucha, and so Santo is in the car, and he's like, "Is this guy gonna take off his mask?" And so I'm like, "I don't know. Hey, are you gonna take off your mask?" He goes, "Well, I'm waiting for Santo to take it off." Santo's like, "No, I'm waiting for you to take it off, bro." This went on for like a real long time till they finally both took it off.